Hello, everyone. Welcome to Couch Potato Queens. We just had a wonderful eviction on Big Brother 26. But more importantly, we have a very, 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 very special guest tonight. And I don't want to hold off any longer because we've all been waiting to speak to this individual for the longest. Our favorite Big Brother 25 house guest, 100%. Steven, give Mama Fee a beautiful introduction for me.
Y'all, we have who we have been waiting for. The queen of the feeds, Big Brother 25, the queen in general. Listen, she might owe a lot of microphones to CBS, but it was the best time seeing her ruin every single one of them within a matter of days. We saw her fall into the hot tub. We saw her request every single food you could imagine, raspberries, blueberries, all of that shit. And she gave us the biggest quote of the season with fucking Bowie Jane. Yes. And so, without further ado, today we have Felicia Cannon.
Mama Fee!
What up? What up? How is everybody?
Wonderful.
I'm starstruck in the building.
I'm going to be honest, Mama Fee, I have never been truly starstruck on this show. I am starstruck with you here. Like, I love you.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. I don't feel like I've done all of that, but thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm excited that you're excited. And, yep, we getting ready to talk about some stuff.
Listen, Felicia, I didn't want to show you earlier when we were doing the testing, but I had to wear it just for tonight.
Hey!
Oh my God! He has on the fucking Bowie Jane shirt.
It's when you're like, go out there, see what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, I love that. That was my favorite. You was straight mafia with that. Oh,
I love that mafia robe so much. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
You know what? Felicia, I just need to get in and say my favorite moment of this season was watching this 1 week. You guys kept changing your strategy like every 3 seconds, and you was used in Suri, and you're like, we gotta get Mimi out, we gotta get this one out. Like I was like, what are you doing?
Whiplash. Every week, we'd have a idea on Monday, and then on Tuesday it would change, and then on Wednesday, and it usually was the day of eviction when we finally came to a let's leave it alone. We got to stay right here. We were horrendous for changing our minds.
The fans called it Waffle Wednesday.
Yes, it was. It really was.
But that's what kept it exciting. We didn't know. Y'all was all over the place.
We
love to see it. We love to see it.
I loved it.
So Mama Fee, I just want to get right into it. How are you feeling about Big Brother 26? Who's your favorites? Who talk to us?
So I gotta say, I think they've got a cast of characters. The game is crazy. Now this is gonna sound crazy. If I had to pick an MVP for the week, only because I can't believe they did not vote her out after all the crazy, is Angela. I don't know that I like the way she's playing because I do think that she's kind of doing personal attacks, and I don't like that. But somehow, I don't know if it's maybe because they think, okay, we don't have to worry about her. She ain't going to win nothing. So we just going to keep her in the house and let her be the crazy. And it takes all of the light off of us. That might be their strategy. But Angela's getting ready to blow up some game. They don't realize it yet. But Angela, Quinn, watch out, dude, because you opened up your mouth and told the wrong person your secret. And she going to blow his game up.
Miss Felicia, I got a question for you. What would you do in that house if somebody walked up and sprinkled glitter over your food?
Oh!
Well, I would like to think that, well, actually, let me just say this. I'd be like, well, what flavor is it? If that counties, I'd be like, well, is it flavored? If it's got a flavor in it that goes with the food, I'm okay with that.
That's the right answer.
I hear that. So we starting off hot. I just want to say thank you, BZ Leonard. For the donation.
Thank you.
Yes, we really appreciate that. Yes. Speaking of Angela, let's get right to that too. You had a beautiful video that you shared or live, And I agreed 100% about Angela, but there was a little bit of BB Twitter or fandom, they crazy. So
Right.
how do you feel about that? Do you still stand on that about with how she treated Matt?
I do think she treated Matt bad because, I was watching the live feeds when they held that conversation when she was HOH. Now, I got to say, Matt acted a little arrogant, and I don't think he picked up on it because he's young. So he didn't realize that he really kind of, in a low-key way, look, if you put me up on the block, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to come after you. Now, is that really a threat to her? No, but that's game talk. They did that the entire season last year, and we kept saying, why do you guys got to keep telling somebody you coming after them? That's the stupidest thing you could do. Cam did that, and Jared did that, and Jag did that. They just felt the need, and maybe it's a guy thing. But I do think that Angela went too far, like when she started calling him crazy eyes, and then she calls him a brat, and she starts calling names. And I think when you start doing that, and like today when she called Lisa Twit, see now, Lisa did better than me because I'd be like, when my eyebrows go up, I'd be like, I'm gonna say this to you one time. You don't ever get to do that to me again. You will.
Oh, she would have known better.
Call me a name again. She would have known better. See, so they give Angela way too much leeway, but I think probably out of what they think is respect because she's an older person in the house, they're trying to not really step on her toes being that mom figure, but she ain't acting like no mom.
She's a bully. I'm sorry. I think she's a bully. I'm not a fan. I know everyone loves her because she's good TV and whatever, but I'm sorry. The more I watch it, the more I cringe. I'm not a fan of her.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of how she's acting because she can be funny and bring good TV without being mean-spirited. Once you cross that line of what I consider to be mean-spirited, I don't have no use for you no more.
Exactly.
Now, Felicia, what do you think? I firmly believe that if she was out of this game, that we would see more gameplay. I feel like there's not enough gameplay going on because people are too scared to do it because they don't want to have the Angela involved with it because they're afraid it's going to be a nuclear explosion. What do you think?
There you go. I have to agree. I think they don't know how she's going to react to anything. And so everybody's afraid. The house is actually kind of boring. I was sitting there telling somebody today that I think we were more fun. I think we actually were more playful. We got along better. Even though there was, the game play, we still genuinely got along. And so we enjoyed each other's company. These guys just kind of sit and talk, and you don't really see them up having fun and laughing, talking about themselves where they're really getting to know each other. And I think a lot of it is everybody's afraid to really strategize because again, they don't know what Angela's going to do. She's a wild card. And that's kind of how we got about mid-season with Cam.
Yeah.
Everybody was kind of afraid to make a move because we didn't know what Cam was going to do because he was a wild card.
Yeah. And
definitely
my thing with your season, Felicia, your season had a great pre-jury phase, I think. For the first 5 or 6 weeks, those feeds were gold. It was great.
You, Izzy, and Sari was just like, whoa, I was glued.
Once Izzy left, and then it started getting stretched out for 3 weeks, that people were staying for 3 weeks long. That's what kind of went a little downhill. It was too long. Your season had all the ingredients to make a really good season. It's just they screwed up with that middle part of your season. I feel like.
Yeah, they messed up when they had Jared and Cam come back when Jag didn't go home. All of that was crazy. All of that was crazy.
It was crazy.
It kind of messed our season up.
Yeah,
definitely. And real quick, thank you, Joseph Collins.
Thank you, Joseph.
So let's answer this question, Felicia. Where were these equitable comps for your season? 8 different comps with 8 different winners, and most of them are people over 30. The young folks can't win shit now. How do you feel about that?
I actually, me and my husband just had a discussion, and he was saying that they have all of these comps where it's like anybody can win. I said, that's what they needed to do. I said, I never liked the fact that previously the comps were built around somebody really being physically strong. I said, and that made it unfair to the people if you don't have the physical, I don't have the physical strength that Matt has. There's no way I could ever beat Matt in a physical competition. But when you have these type of comps like they had today and what they've had so far, I think it's the greatest change they could have made because it puts everybody on equal footing. So you never know who's going to win. And if somebody's good enough to win this season with these kind of comps, win 7 or 8 times, they need to win the game.
Yeah. What was that comp that
Exactly.
didn't they have you like spinning around? You like fell out or something. What?
Yes.
Like they were doing too much.
It was, for one, that day we walked outside, it was like 95, 98 degrees outside. No kidding. Because as soon as I stepped outside, I knew I was going to be in trouble because it was so hot. And I don't do well in extremely hot weather. And then I have what you call vertigo. So that first time I spun around in that chair, I said, oh, Lord, this ain't going to work. I ain't going to be able to do this more than a couple times. I knew I wasn't going to last long.
Joseph asked an interesting question in the chat, Mom Fee. He wants to know, if you had been cast in this season, what would you have done with Angela?
I would probably pull Angela aside and say, Angela, you got to bring it down. You got to bring it down. They actually like you. So if you would have just stopped talking so much and stopped trying to be so over the top, you actually might be okay. Me and you might be able to go to the end, but you got to bring it down a notch. You're doing too much.
Someone's got to
That's what I would tell her. You're doing too much.
Someone's got to
I feel like people have tried to do that, though, but she keeps saying, I'm not buying what you're selling. I'm not buying what you're trying to feed me.
She said, what you're feeding, I'm not eating. Like,
because she's looking at all of them. She's looking at all of them as kids.
Yes.
That's why she's not listening.
You got to look.
Even though her eviction.
Kenny hasn't said it to her. I think if Kenny even said it to her, but him and Angela don't really talk. And I think if she had one person, like she's 50, I was 63, Sari was 53. So I could talk to Sari and Sari listen. She doesn't have anybody older than her that she's going to listen to. She's not listening to them kids.
No. Can I just say, Felicia, I just got to say this. When the cast was released for your season, and I saw you in that cast, and I'm like, they have a woman that is over 60 in the cast. We have been asking for this for years, since Rennie in season 10. Like, it's never happened, has not happened in years. When you were announced, we were screaming. Like,
really?
We knew what
about it that's been going on this show. I was like, yes. I'm like, she's going to go far. I know it's going to happen. It's like, we've been waiting years for someone that can show that age is just a number. Like,
age is just a number. Right. And when I auditioned, they asked me several times, are you going to lie about your age? And I said, I really don't want to. I said, because I don't want to have to remember lies through the whole show.
Like this girl.
I just said, I'm going to do better if I just play me.
Exactly.
Right. Speaking of lying, like, Steven, you hit it. Like, come on. Like, y'all was on to Bowie Jane, right? Right.
From the very beginning.
Okay.
She was 35. Me and Sari went in the back and said, that heifer knows she ain't 35
I'm 36.
Oh. And that's what I told her at the end when she said 45. It's like, It's like, I said, Bowie Jane, I'm 63. I know what 45 or 35 look like, and you ain't 35.
Okay. How is Bowie Jane not like? How is she taking like the fuck Bowie Jane? Like, have you spoken to her at all after?
Since we left California, I have not spoken to Bowie Jane one time.
Oh wow!
And not because I have any ill will. I really don't. But I think I've heard that she probably got offended over some stuff. And again, when I said the fucking Bowie Jane, it was like, God damn it, that fucking Bowie Jane. If she
right.
it was one of those. It wasn't like a F you, Bowie Jane.
Right.
But to be fair, Julie was even doing it. Julie would be like rolling her eyes and cutting her off. Thanks, Bowie Jane, and cut her off.
Okay, Felicia, what was your thought on Julie's bob from your season?
I liked her bob. I
love the bob.
I liked her bob. I did.
You've not talked to Bowie Jane.
I've always admired Julie, and I've always thought she is a very what do I want to say? She's got a lot of charm. I think she's one of those. She reminds me of Kennedy. What's her name?
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Kennedy. She just has something about her, an aura about her. She's very refined.
Yep. So you said you don't talk to Bowie Jane since your season. Who else do you not talk to from your season?
Probably, there's only been a couple of them because I haven't talked to Red. I haven't talked to Bowie Jane. I think that might be actually it. I've talked to Ree and Jared and Blue and Matt and Jag and America and Corey. Kirsten. I have not talked to Kirsten.
Yeah. Oh. I feel like Kirsten kind of does she really talk to anyone from the cast? I kind of feel like she went her separate ways after your season.
She
Boy
was at the
Jane?
premiere party.
She was
Kristen, I think, right?
No,
Was she?
she wasn't there. She was
No?
supposed to
Oh.
come and she didn't come.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
how is Sari is one of my favorite, if not my favorite Survivor player. But she was, she wasn't really my favorite player on Big Brother because I think she could have done a little bit more. But I loved watching y'all relationship at the beginning. Y'all did give us the only and best fight of the
Yeah, we
season.
had a falling out.
Oh man, but that's like, I was sitting there watching my aunties go at it. I'm like, come on, y'all. So
she was like, "You gonna let me talk? When you gonna let me talk?" And I'm just gonna say this because I do have love for Sari and Jared. Jared really did remind me of my son. A lot of his behavior, his demeanor, his personality reminded me a lot of Jair, the way he dressed. Had I known, I can see how I probably offended Sari because I keep talking about you remind me of my son and he's calling me Mama Fee. And so as her being his real mom, I'm sure that probably was offended. And she wanted to say, bitch, that's my son. She probably really wanted to say that. But I really was disheartened. I felt the shift, but I didn't know what it caused the shift. And I knew that my relationship with Jared had changed because I went in the room one time and said, Jared, what's going on? And it was that week that I was on the block
with Izzy.
And I could tell that something had shifted. But when I found out, I still had no idea that Sari and Jared were the two trying to get me out of the house that week. I really had no idea. So when I found that out, my feelings were genuinely hurt. And I don't get hurt that often by too much stuff. And that lets you know that I really cared because I would have rolled all the way to the end with Jared, Sari, and Mimi with that brown sugar babes. Oh, I was all in with that. And I would have tried to go all the way with Sari in the final too. But what I didn't realize is she was never going to do that because she had Jared and she had Izzy.
I know. And you who was loyal to was Mimi the whole time. And you were like, one time trying to vote her out.
Really? Let's get Mimi out.
Yes.
Yes.
I really was. I was loyal to Mimi. I probably never would have voted Mimi out. I had to keep convincing those guys because there were several times. I think once when Jared was HOH and he's like, I don't know about Mimi. And I kept saying, you guys, Mimi is good. Stop doubting Mimi. She is in. She's in. But for some reason, they really doubted her. And I don't know what that was either.
I will say, right. I will say though, like I love Sari. She's even on Big Brother, I did love her at the beginning. Do you think maybe not necessarily including Bowie Jane might have been like one of y'all like crucial mistakes in the game? You think?
Oh, it definitely was.
Really?
Because I think if we hadn't blindsided Bowie Jane. She might have been willing to rock with us at the end when she was winning, but she didn't trust us anymore. And the bad part is I was always the one that people distrusted and they didn't realize a lot of the stuff was coming from Sari. So when I say Sari is good at gameplay, Sari is good at gameplay because she always made you feel like she loved everybody and she was loyal to everybody. And behind the scenes, she kept other people stirring the pot for her.
Yes, she's a brilliant player. Were you surprised at anything, minus the Jared like Sari, but like when you got home and watched it, like what surprised you the most?
I think I was more surprised with because my gut told me that Sari was trying to sabotage me. I felt it. I went in the diary room. I don't think they showed it on the live feeds. I went in the diary room numerous times and said, Sari is sabotaging my game. I don't know how and I don't know why, but I feel it. I know she is. But I was more actually surprised by conversation that Matt and Jag had with regards to me, because I really honestly trusted Matt and Jag. I really did. I liked them a lot. Matt, I didn't realize, I heard him say a couple of things. And again, for whoever's watching this, I'm not upset with anybody because I do realize it's gameplay. And when you get in that house and you're in there 24/7, you'll say and do some stuff where you look back and say, damn, why did I do that? You really do. Because you get caught up. You get caught up in your alliances. And the next thing you know, you realize you're saying and doing stuff you probably wouldn't do if you weren't in that house. So I didn't realize that Jag, I got a connection with Jag over a spiritual something because that time I walked in on him and he was in the comic room and he was doing prayer and asked me to come back, that resonated with me because, you know, when I was reading my Bible, it was never fake. I get up and do the devotion and read the Bible every day. And when I was in the house, I did that. And I always tried to be the first one up to get my shower done for the bathroom got crazy, and then go outside with my cup of tea and sit and read my scripture, because that's what carried me through the 96 days. So when I found out later that they would be talking about, you know, F her in that damn Bible and she fake and she perpetrating, and it's like, oh, okay. So you guys are playing with God. I think on the show one time I said, you can play with God all you want to. I don't play with God.
Yeah, I don't like when people do that. You know, religion's supposed to be personal and something.
Yeah,
people should not be bringing it into strategy. That's like
right.
That's where people have done it in the past. I don't like to do that.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So for tonight's episode, can we give a round of applause really quickly to Blindside's coming back?
Oh
yes,
you know.
I mean,
yes.
you can tell that Lisa was stunned. I actually feel bad for her. She was stunned. She thought she was staying. You could tell. I'm like, oh man, I feel so bad for her. She was stunned.
Ooh,
yes.
And Angela was stunned because she thought she was leaving.
Yes, she was.
She made that her eviction. She made that her eviction all about her.
We know what
all
happened,
about her.
Like how this came to be. Like, is there something in the live feeds I didn't watch? So
they're really, for some reason, Lisa just rubbed them the wrong way. Angela, I think, gets on their nerves. She will probably go this week unless something else happens. Like I said, unless they just decide she's going to be one of the pawns and that gets rid of one vote, one person they have to throw up on the block. They may keep her there just for that purpose. But you even saw Angela's fakeness when she came back in the house and she hugged Tucker after he won, and she's telling everybody how much she loves him when she was sitting there telling what's the little small girl? She looked at her and said,
Rabina.
Your face is just glowing tonight. You know, she just says stuff trying to, and you can tell it's not genuine. It's fake.
Right.
Extra.
But I think that's gonna keep her.
Do we believe Angela when she said, y'all, if you keep me, I promise I won't blow up that crazy again?
No.
Heck no.
It's who she is. I don't believe that at all.
We'll see about that. Herself. She'll be blowing up tonight when the feeds come back on.
She will be blowing up tonight. Blowing up tonight. Tucker's going to have to find a way to get back in with her and convince her that he still loves her and likes her, or he is done.
Yeah, it was. I kind of like Tucker. What's your thoughts on Tucker? I mean, like, he's kind of like.
I like him.
He's a mix of two characters in the past that I'm not really a fan of, which is Zach Rance and Cody Calafiore. It's like if you merge them together, that's what he is. But I like him. I
don't get Cody. I get Zach a lot.
I get Zach. Who does he actually reminds me too of? What's the one that was from Jersey?
It's Enzo.
Enzo. He reminds me of Enzo.
Zach Rance with Enzo. Yes, that's a better one right there.
Yes, he reminds me of Enzo. I like Enzo better though. I loved Enzo his season.
I think he's
also the goofiness of Corey from last season. I feel like.
Felicia, we don't discuss All Stars season 22 because.
But I also feel like Tucker's a mix of Corey from last season. The goofiness of Corey.
I think Quinn reminds me of Corey.
I agree.
Yes,
Quinn reminds me of very methodical, very strategic. He really does kind of stay low key. I think if Quinn, but now he's told Chemo, he's told Angela, and now each one of them has told somebody. So his secret ain't no secret.
Yeah, it's kind of giving me a little Izzy. Quinn is giving me Izzy vibes, like a mild Izzy, a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So
he's just not as talkative and like sporadic. How was it? Like, how is Izzy? Do you talk to Izzy? Like, how was it living with her?
Izzy was so much fun. I adored her. You know, sous chef. I loved Izzy. She was so much fun. We laughed all the time. She had jokes that were out of this world, but she was very emotional. And I remember a couple times saying, Izzy, stop, bring it down. I said, don't let these people get you worked up like that. It's a game. So she played with high emotion. And I think that's how she ended up getting on people's radar.
Y'all had that moment where you was laughing at Izzy was crying.
where Izzy was like, I want to fuck him up, and you just start busting out laughing.
She was like, I hate him, and I said, you don't do that. I said, we're on national TV. She's like, I don't give a fuck if we're on. I said, but Izzy, I said, it's a game. Nothing in here should impact you to the point where you tell somebody you hate them. I said, it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
Right.
And she was like, I hate that. I can't hate him.
Fucking Bowie Jane. That was everything. Did you see the remix of Fucking Bowie Jane that they did?
I did. In fact, Izzy is the one that showed me that on finale night. She's like, girl, do you know you have gone viral? And I said, what do you mean? She said, they have a tape out there. They have a whole video out there of you with fucking Bowie Jane. And I said, what do you mean fucking Bowie Jane? She said, what? And I was sitting there like, oh my God. I said, send that to me. Send that to me.
Yes. Yes.
So what do you think of the twist of this season, Mama V?
I love what they're doing with the game. I love the fact that they have the AI. I love the fact that now they have the 3 people on the block and you get to battle twice to get yourself off the block. It's going to stop that. It's going to stop the people being able to repetitively win back to back to back to back. So I think that's a good thing. I thought it was going to be another way to stop the unanimous votes, but I see that ain't going to happen because everybody's still worried about what the House going to do. Because I find it hard to believe that Kenny was the only one who wanted to give Angela a vote. It's like, oh my God, what is wrong with you guys?
Right. So,
did you hear
going
that
back on that with?
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh no! You because you're talking about Kenny, so go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you hear that Kenny was potentially like thinking about quitting? Is this a true thing? Like, did you hear about this?
I have been hearing it, and I didn't see it on the live feeds. I didn't watch too much live feed yesterday. I didn't watch any live feed yesterday, and I didn't see anything today. But I did hear that he had said he was going to go and tell him he wants to quit. Now, they will, if you go in there in the diary room and actually seriously say, I just can't do it anymore, don't want to do it anymore, they'll let you leave. They will.
Did anyone try that from your season? Like even attempt to? No?
Is the stress and the paranoia that deep?
I remember even going in there one time myself. Now, this is after I had found out my brother passed. And that was on day 58. And then that next day, Cameron put me up on the block. And then I was pissed. And I went in there and I told him, I said, I just don't think I want to do this anymore. And they actually really talked to me and said, you know, if you want to leave, we definitely can't stop you. But we just think that we'd like for you to think about it and blah, blah. And they really talked to me. And then I realized, Felicia, you don't want to quit. You're not a quitter. But I was frustrated and I was thinking, I'm staying in here. I believe that Saturday I got up and I went in the back and asked him, could I do a message to my family? Because my spirit told me my brother had passed on that Saturday, because it was Thursday when they told me about the accident. Saturday he passed. And when I came out of the house, I told him I didn't want to know nothing else till I got out the house. When I came out of the house, I found out that Saturday my brother did pass. So I felt it. Yeah.
Felicia, are you intuitive?
Am I what?
Intuitive?
Very.
Same as well.
Very intuitive. I work off my gut all the time. It's awesome. Like I wake up out of dead sleeps with these, you know, when my son was in college, I always knew when there was something going on. I'd wake up out of dead sleep and I'd wake that morning at 7:00. I'd be like, we got to talk. I said, because such and such is happening. What are you talking about? I said, I said, God done showed it to me. I said, this is going on. And I would tell him, you know, that was about his grades and stuff. Pull up your screen and let me see your grade.
I'm the same way. It's in my sleep. In my sleep, I'm intuitive. I
always get woken up out of a dead sleep.
That's
y'all subconscious talking to y'all.
I'm the same way. We should talk. We have the same gift. So
and so that's why I say I knew when I was being sabotaged by different people, I could feel it. And so, I did go to them one time and say, I don't know if I want to stay, because a part of me was feeling like if I'm going to go home this week anyway, I'd rather leave now. So at least I can make it to my brother's funeral.
Yeah.
Wow.
So is the paranoia and just like, because we're seeing it with Angela, but like the paranoia, is it that deep? Like, do you have like this? Yeah.
Is
it like a constant like bubble guts like the whole time?
You really have to be in tune to people. And what I've learned over the years, and I kept telling those guys in the house, I said, you really don't have to talk to people. All you have to do is watch their behavior. I said, because we are creatures of habit. And once you watch everybody and learn their behaviors, their patterns of behavior, you can always tell when it's off. And so you really in the house. Now, this is why I'm surprised with Lisa, though. because you can usually tell who's going home just because it's the person everybody stops talking to.
Yeah.
True.
That's why I actually thought they might be sending Angela home, because Angela was always in the room by herself.
They iced her out all week.
They iced
really
her out all week.
did.
Even when she sat in the room, there was never anybody engaging with her. And that's why I thought, they might be. So they played Lisa well. But that's what we did with Heisem, because we decided we can't let Heisem know. We cannot let Heisem know, because he will blow up and explode like a crazy person.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody just acted like everything was okay. And we had to make him believe he wasn't going home, because we knew what would happen if he knew. Well, that's what they did with Angela and Lisa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
And I can only
Lisa thought she was
imagine.
staying. Lisa thought she was staying.
Oh,
And you were the pawn 8 times your season, and it's like
8
I can only imagine.
times.
you're a fabulous pawn, though, and
Yes,
You know,
we did
I
not
think
want
the
you to go.
worst one was the time when Cam did me and Izzy, and I'll still never forget when we were sitting around the table and he had to put the pies in people's face.
Oh, that was yours.
And I told him I
yeah.
wanted the key lime pie, and I didn't realize he had said, he made some nasty, snarly comment. Somebody told me later what he had said, but I had taken my tooth out and put it on the table. And when he took the pie that I wanted and put it in Matt's face, me and Izzy looked at each other and I said, oh shit, let me put my tooth back in my mouth, because I'm not getting no pie.
Oh damn.
And that's when I knew I knew me and Izzy were gonna be the last two standing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will admit, when Izzy went home at the time, I was pretty happy about it. But I soon regretted that decision, because she was such good live feeds. Like, those live feeds every 5 seconds, it was changing. The plan was something completely different until Izzy left, and it was like, done.
Because we were so crazy. I mean, we really did have fun. Me, Izzy, Sari, Red was a hoot.
Yeah.
Jared really was a hoot.
Jared.
And we really Mimi and Jack. I mean, when I say we actually had fun in the house, we really did have fun in the house.
Yes. Y'all
No
had
one
fun,
is-
and y'all talked game. Y'all talked game.
Yes.
That's what I did
Yes.
love.
Yes.
If you had come in week 1 and Big Brother had given you powers like they've done in this season, would you have gone and told everybody in the house about your power?
No.
No. Yeah, Tucker messed up with that one. Yeah. Or not
Quinn.
Tucker, but
Quinn.
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 Yes.
Quinn
Tucker
and Mackenzie, MJ, she's told them now that she had the power, and right now it's working to her advantage. But I believe after her month is up, they're gonna get her gone.
I agree.
She's
They're
like
playing nice with her
6'1".
right now.
She's tall. You can tell she's tall.
Yeah, I agree. They messed up with that. That's rule number 1. Don't tell anybody about your power.
Man, if I was to ever go back in there again, I'd play a game completely different. I mean, I would stop talking as much, and I'm still be Felicia, but I would shut up more, and I wouldn't tell no secrets. None.
I love it.
I think as a viewer in a lot of seasons, we get frustrated because it seems like a lot of players are telling other players, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to vote you out. Why were y'all telling people that you're going to vote them out? Why not let it be a blindside?
I think not wanting to lie in the person's face. Not wanting to lie. Because I just, like if you recall, when Blue was going home, and I just kept thinking originally, Sari was trying to get me to realize that Jag was going to put her up on the block, and she was the one they really wanted out. And I said, oh, no, he would never do that to Blue. Blue has been his partner from the very beginning. They've been aligned, and especially after Jared left. And when I realized that Blue really was the target, it was like my heart hurt. And it was like, oh, my God, because she was so sure that Jag would not and Matt would not vote her out. And so I went and told her, and I didn't tell her, but she looked at me. She asked me a question, and she looked at me, and I just looked at her back, and she said, oh my God. So that was my way of telling her, but I just felt like I couldn't lie to her face. I'll say nothing before I'll tell you a lie. I'd rather just not say anything.
Yeah.
You think that's why?
Again, that's what hurt me with Sari and Jared when I found out that they were lying in my face.
Oh, I'd love to see you back on the show, Felicia.
I want to see you on a different show. I want to see you.
Let's see you on the Traders. Yes, would you do the Traders?
Yeah, how would you feel about that?
Circle, Trust, The Mole. I could do any one of those.
I feel like
yes.
the circle. You'd be. I want you on the
fun.
circle. The circle. That would be great.
The circle
deal or
would
no
be
deal to
fly.
Island,
I
we're
think
not
I could
doing
do
that
really
one.
well on the circle. I would love to do the circle.
What about the goat? The goat is fun too. I like the goat.
That is
I
a
don't
good
think
one.
I've seen the goat.
Oh,
It's the one with Davon. Davon's on it.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
It's on now?
Yeah. The
whole
full
season's
season's out.
complete.
It's good.
it's
Oh,
really
I gotta
fun.
go watch
really
it. I
good.
haven't seen that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's really good. And
Ah.
Devon, she does her thing. So
She slays.
it's really entertaining.
This season.
Oh, Davon from Big Brother.
Yes.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Does she
Yes.
win?
Well, we don't
No,
want to
we're
spoil it
alone.
for you.
Don't tell me. I'm gonna start watching it tomorrow.
It's really good. It's really good.
I will say, if she played that game in Big Brother, it would have been a whole different story about
Yup.
Devon. Like she killed it.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna say, Davon is like the changed Big Brother, so she's always gonna be someone.
She was like, "Y'all want to say I'm not good at Big Brother? I'm gonna show y'all I'm good at this." And she
She loves
did
her
what
life
she needed to
for
do.
sure. Like,
Okay. I got the goat. Okay, I gotta go watch the goat
on Amazon Prime. Yes.
Now,
Mom Felicia, do you think it is a mistake for players this season? Because Julie's made a big deal out of the last 2 evictions. I said a campaign. Why aren't y'all campaigning? This is your time to campaign, and they're not doing it.
Well,
Are they just that confident?
What that shows you is that they've already decided who they're getting out. So the campaign isn't going to do them any good.
Exactly.
Now, Lisa, unfortunately, thought she was staying. So she didn't feel the need to. Angela was squeezing people up and telling them how beautiful they look. But I really believe that they should pull a few people and say, I do have your vote, right? And force people, at least they'd get a better feel. But I think because, again, they're so sure that they know where it's going to land, they don't feel the need to. And that's the mistake.
I think it's a lot of people to do that with as well. Like you have a lot of eyes on who you're pulling into rooms.
Yes.
Like that. I think right now, like we're used to that kind of stuff happening at double eviction when it's later on in the season. There's not as many people. There's a lot of eyes on you right now.
There's too many people, and they're scared to pull people in the back. And then the person they just pulled in the back is mad because they got pulled in the back. And I think they just haven't figured out how to do it yet. But again, they should be pulling somebody. Look, can I have a 30 seconds with each one of you guys and just form a line to talk to me? They got to just be willing to do that, but they're scared to, I think.
I think production wanted
Miranda
that
and
atmosphere.
Joseph in chat, Mama V, Miranda and Joseph in chat both said they don't understand why you couldn't get your seasonings, but Lisa was able to get her glitter.
Now you just said something. Now the only reason why I think they may not, I don't know, because Johnny's seasoning is in Washington State. Now they have it here in Georgia now. Maybe they just don't have it in, because all our groceries came from Kroger's and Whole Foods for the most part. I shouldn't say that out loud. And maybe they just don't carry Johnny's, because Johnny's isn't sold everywhere. Like I can get it in Publix now here, and I can get it at like Food Depot, but it's not in all the grocery stores. So they probably couldn't get it.
I will be ordering. Can you order it on Amazon? Because
you can.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get it. I'm gonna have to get it.
So CBS could have made that. It's CBS. They could have got you your Johnny's.
Okay, they could have made it happen if they really wanted to do something.
For your HOH basket. Your HOH basket, they could have put it in there.
Oh
yeah.
Absolutely.
When you got that HOH basket was my moment of the season, and you were like, I got my kettle chips and my Lowry's or whatever. It was everything.
I got the Lowry's, I got the seasoning pepper, and I got my red licorice. And my jelly bellies. I got red licorice and jelly bellies. I was a happy camper.
Johnny's up there on the price range. I'm still gonna get it, but they ain't joking. Like
they ain't joking. I'm telling you,
it's good.
Oh my god, it must be
but
good. I'm about to
nothing
order me
makes
some
your
Johnny's.
food taste better. I'm telling you, when you start using Johnny's, you won't use nobody else's.
I'm about to pay the $16 for some Johnny's.
Now, okay.
I want to ask you, just so to get a little bit of like behind the scenes. When you're like in the diary room, because I do wonder about just for this season, your season in general, can you tell like how production is like editing you for the show based on how they talk to you? And like, is there anything that can kind of give away like how you might be coming across in the edit?
You really can't, because they have you talk. They let you use your voice. Now, there might be times where they say, well, how about we say this, and you get to say, no, that's not how I feel. I don't want to say that. And they're like, okay, so put it in your, so they let you put it in your words and say what you are, they don't try to force you to say something that you don't agree with. So I have to applaud them for that. They do a good job, but you have no way of knowing how you're being portrayed. I remember thinking, you know, I don't know if you remember, because I was in so many vetoes because my behind was always on the block.
Yeah.
And I would get my costumes, I would always get mad and say, you guys are trying to make me appear to be this fat old lady because you always give me this ridiculous, stupid costumes. I'm like, everything that Matt has put on, he could wear outside on the street. And people would say, hey, man, you look fly. I said, you ain't giving me nothing fly yet, and I ain't appreciating that. So I realized that they had an image of me being the older, momish person in the house, and they wanted me to look like that. I picked up on that piece, I think. But as far as you're knowing how they're editing, you have no idea. So when I came home and actually watched the show, it became very obvious to me anyway, who I think they were plugging for just by watching the show.
Do you
like
think
right now, you can tell as crazy as Angela's acting, they like Angela, because Angela still gets a lot of screen time.
Oh yes,
you gotta have a villain.
Even when she's sitting in the room by herself, she's still on that screen.
Yep.
Yeah, she's TV gold. And speaking of Angela, I just want to get my notes out real quick. The white tears are getting on my nerve. I could tell they're getting on to Cora's nerve. I'm tired of the victim card. So she was very nasty week 1. She's very entitled, especially with Quinn's power. It's not hers. Do you think the damage is done with Angela, or do you think she can get out of this?
I think the damage is done, but I also think she may get out of it, again, for the simple reason that I think they may keep Angela just because she becomes an easy, what's the word I'm looking for? Pawn, or she's an easy somebody where every week when they have to put 3 people up on the block, and it's easy to have Angela as one of those 3. And so I believe she's going to become the pawn for the season, and they're going to keep her until like the final 5 or 6. They might get rid of her before jury. They may not. I don't believe she's going to go all the way though. There's no way she'll make it to the end. She's
probably so grateful to still be announced, because she looked so shocked that she'll agree. She'll be like, fine, yeah, I can be a pawn. That's totally fine.
Right.
But then if she becomes HOH tonight, then what?
Yeah, now when she becomes HOH, now that's what they need to be scared of. If she gets another one of them happenstance HOHs, then she's gonna have to show her hand, and that's when she's gonna ruffle feathers, and then probably the next week she'll be gone.
I said I think our last episode, what I want to see is her win a HOH and then get both powers played on her HOH this week.
Now that could very well. That would be iconic.
Winner.
She landed on. I don't know if though as HOH, if the powers are played, if she could land on the block.
No, I think if you win a competition, then you're like.
I don't think, but you know she's gonna melt down. Why would you do that to my HOH?
The next week will be a meltdown week, and she'll be done. It's gonna be crazy.
It's.
I will say it is great TV, and I'm okay with Lisa leaving instead of Angela, but I do want to see like production showcase more of the other house guests.
Yeah.
And so speaking of that, like, are there any other house guests that you're like rooting for, or think that's playing the best game?
I don't. So I think they haven't given a lot of camera time to Core. Hasn't been on the camera a lot, in my opinion. What's the young boy, the 21-year-old?
Cedric,
I believe. I like Cedric, and if Cedric plays his game right, he can go far.
Both of them, Takor and Cedric, are.
And they're playing great games. They're playing great games.
Well, I believe Takor is actually messing up in that I don't think she's conversating enough. I think she's conversating a lot through other people and say, well, did you tell him that? No, you got to go in there and tell him. So I think she thinks that by staying low key, she needs to just not talk a lot, but what people don't realize, and Kenny, I think Kenny is making a mistake by not talking enough. People have to get to know you. And so at some point you got to try to have a conversation with everybody every day, even if it's a 2-minute conversation. Hey, how you doing? What are you thinking about the house so far? You got to start that general conversation. Even if you don't go too deep, but you got to allow people a chance to get to connect with you. Otherwise, when it's time to vote, the people they don't have a connection with, they become the easy outs. They don't feel bad when they vote you out. Yeah, and I think that's where agree. Kenny, Anticor, Chemo, they all like Chemo, but Chemo might need to do a little bit more talking to other people too. They stay within those 4 or 5 people, and that's going to hurt them in a couple of weeks.
Cam and Rabina, those two, we've seen nothing from them.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, who's Rabina? Who's she?
She's a little short. Invisible. She's a little short one that I was saying that Angela today told her that her face was just glowing.
She's kind of. I was like, I don't know her. I was going Mariah. I don't know her.
I don't know her.
Where she's like my pick this year too. I'm like, I don't even notice her in the house. I forgot she was there.
In the first couple of days too, the camera was on her a lot. She was doing a lot of talking, and then all of a sudden you saw her just go under the radar. So I'm not sure if maybe somebody said something to her, but she's gone real silent. And ever since Chelsea made HOH, actually you saw her kind of go under the radar. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure what that is. But they definitely, there's several of them that need to step up, or they're going to find themselves being easy targets.
What do you think about
do you think Leah's going to find a showmance?
Leah got to decide who she wants her showmance with.
Well, she wants it with Tucker, but Tucker doesn't want it with her.
She wants Tucker, she wants Cam, and she wanted she wouldn't have actually. I think in the first week she wanted Matt, but realized Matt wanted Mackenzie.
Oh, yep.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I think she needs to let go of a showmance because it's definitely going to be a downfall for her. It ain't going to work.
What about Mackenzie? What do you think about her?
I like Mackenzie, and I kind of feel bad for Mackenzie and Leah. And this is where the house goes bad. So they voted to keep Matt the first week, and now because they voted to keep Matt, all of a sudden they need to go. Well, why do they need to go in the first week when you don't really know nobody, and they don't even realize they're going against the house? I think that Mackenzie, if she plays her cards right, and she uses that power at the right time, and then she wins a couple of HOHs, I think she can. She's got people that are okay with her. I don't know. For some reason, I think they just don't care for Mackenzie, though. They're just holding on to a later date to get rid of her because they know she has that power.
Here's the thing, though. I kind of like her. I don't know what it is.
I do too.
I am rooting for her and Leah. I always root for an underdog, and I kind of feel like they're a little underdoggy. And I kind of want her to make it through and persevere and maybe like make a new alliance. I think I could see them teaming up with like maybe Takor and what's his name, Chemo. I could see that maybe forming. I'd really like that. Those are kind of like the 4 that I like the most. I'm rooting for them. I know it's weird. But.
Yeah, because if she stays trying to suck up to Chelsea and Cam, she's not going to make it far.
Yeah. Chelsea's still playing a good game, though. She is strong at this game.
Chelsea is playing an outstanding game. Mm-hmm. I see her going to the Final 4 at a minimum.
Yeah.
Yes.
All day long.
100%.
I see her doing that. I see her. I see Quinn, if he doesn't get caught up in the Angela.
It's close. It's close to it.
Yeah, I see them going far. Tucker, I don't know, because Tucker likes stirring the pot. You can tell he likes stirring the pot. That might get him in trouble. That just might get him in trouble.
Agreed. Going back to Chelsea, I'm actually loving watching Chelsea play. I do think that she has this intimidating aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't mess with Chelsea. Like, if you mess with Chelsea, it's a wrap. Not in an angry black girl type of way, but like just like. She's planted pretty nicely in the house. Like, how do you think, or who do you think would be the person to take that shot at pretty much Chelsea or Cedric or Cam?
I think Angela. I think Angela might do it, and I think Tucker might do it.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting.
I could see Tucker doing it. I could see possibly Joseph doing it. If they stay later
I
in the
could
game,
see.
I could see Joseph doing it.
Joseph.
I want to go back to Leah. I think Leah is hurting herself in the sense that, last week they showed her a lot on the live feeds where she's telling everybody, I came in here and I'm an independent woman and I'm strong and I don't need nobody and I gotta play my own game and I don't care if I go against the house. And I think she's talking too much. She needs to be quiet because that's a turnoff to people.
Yes.
And she's trying to be aligned at the same time telling you, I don't need nobody. I can do this by myself. And you can't.
Who do you think is playing the best game right now?
Who?
Who do you think is playing the best game right now?
I would actually have to say,
Here, I'll help you out.
I think Brooklyn and Joseph are playing.
Same. Yes. I agree with that, Mama Fee.
Brooklyn and Joseph.
Agreed.
Because I believe they have a lot of ability and they're staying just enough under the radar, but they're talking to everybody. They're building relationship. And I think they're going to sneak up on people.
Yes. Speaking of, let's do it. We have a tradition, like we have our draft picks. We're gonna change V to Mackenzie because V held it down for Drag Race, and so V needs to break, and so Mackenzie stepped in so graciously. So these are our draft picks, Mama Fee.
Okay.
Now we have
the worst game.
Lisa.
I'm getting ready to put my glasses on.
well, you might be okay.
Joseph, I think Joseph is a contender right now. He's in a spot where people aren't really coming for him. I think he's
exactly. Nobody's looking at Joseph. Nobody's looking at Brooklyn. Nobody's looking at
T-Core kind of looking at
T-Core. Well, I don't know, kind of, because they've mentioned T-Core's name once or twice. They thought about. I think they kind of said, well, we could put her up as a pawn. Yeah. I don't think right now anybody's looking at Quinn.
Right now they're not.
Right now
they're not. Right now they're not looking at Cedric.
Yeah. Cedric too.
So their targets right now are Angela, Kenny, Leah, and Mackenzie. Those are the 4 targets that they're looking at going out the house first. Now, once you get past that, then it's going to be now you're going to see the real. You see it.
I can't wait. I can't wait, Mama Fee. It's going to be
That's when they're going to get dirty. That's when they're going to get dirty. Once they get rid of them.
I think Leah can get by. I think Leah's going to be okay. Mackenzie might be in trouble after her power flushes. I think depending on who Leah bonds with and gets close to over the next couple weeks, I think Leah could end up staying in the game, just depending on how it goes. But she's the only one I think has longevity potentially.
Yeah.
Mama
I think Tucker, if he starts talking too much, he may be somebody to go home too. So I'm like I said, Kenny, Angela, Mackenzie, Tucker, those are the ones that I think are going to be the next ones to go.
Agreed.
Definitely. I do have a indulgent question. So who do you think has the best draft pick, and who do you think is in trouble with their draft pick?
Okay. So Frank, you have. So your draft is straight across, right?
Yes.
You guys are straight across.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, I think mine was better.
Yeah, this was kind of hard because Frank, you have Angela and Kenny in there. I don't know.
I know.
That's a chaotic.
I know. And you know what, Mama Fee? I almost picked Cedric instead of Kenny, and I knew I would have the best one, but I had to put Kenny in there.
Thank you for picking Kenny, because I love having Cedric on my team.
And you have Brooklyn.
And I've got Brooklyn.
I don't know. You done made this one hard. I would say either, honestly, Josh or Frank, though. I think you guys have the best two.
Woo woo!
Okay.
I think having Chemo, Cam, and Joseph that's 3 really good, kind of like under the radar, playing really good games.
Frank, what I just noticed though, from your draft, every single one of them has won a competition.
Yes.
Oh wow!
Every single one of yours has won.
I have 4 floaters.
Definitely.
Wow.
Steven, you got T-Core. I think, Steven, you have T-Core. I think that's your best player right now.
Yeah, I think Steven in trouble.
And Josh, on yours, Cam isn't even on the playing board.
Huh?
And Cam's not even on the playing board for yours.
You got
That's okay.
Cam and Rubina.
He's gonna make jury. I'm cool with that, and he's sexy AF, so I'm fine with that.
Yes.
He might make jury. He may not. I think he has the potential if he don't get caught up and get hooked up with Leah.
Oh,
I know. What do you think about that? Let's talk about that.
That's a cute showman.
Mama Fee, what do you think about this? The swirliness of it all.
You know, and see, she's going around saying he keeps trying to talk to me, and he's telling people, I'm trying not to hurt her feelings, and I just want to be nice. And so I think low key, both of them actually really kind of like each other, but they don't want to come out and say it because they don't want the romance.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
both
playing with each other. I think before it's all said and done,
they'll be cuddling up every night.
They might be locking some lips.
Well, all it takes is one of them to win an HOH. That's it.
Okay.
Felicia, tell me how you feel about this, because Chelsea brought up a point this week on the feeds that I don't think we've really heard anybody talk about when she spoke to the camera, talking about how people are touch deprived in the house. And I guess that's why they're like, you see people cuddle a lot and whatnot. Like, I never thought about that being like an issue in the house.
See, in our season, they did a lot of hugging too. We did a lot of hugging. You know, people kind of sat up under each other. Because even I remember this is crazy. I remember my husband telling me that I was laid all up under Jag, and I said,
I've seen that one. I saw that. I saw that one.
Right. And I said, now, I'm like, Dwayne, now you know damn well it's not like I liked Jag like that. I said, everybody in the house except for Sari could be my child.
Yeah.
Literally. I said,
but not wrong with the youngins. No shade. Not wrong with cougar action.
I would want to work with people that
but it was all, and Jag probably out of everybody in the house was the most touchy. He just tugged, he hugged and rubbed and touched on everybody, male and female.
Mm-hmm. And he hugged his way to the end.
And it got him all the way to the end. So we really did have a touchy-feely, lay all over you kind of house. These guys actually are more separated, and they don't do that as much. And so it can make you become touch deprived real easy, because again, the longer you're in there, the more you feel like I need to connect. I just need that something.
Affection, companionship, definitely.
Yeah.
Even like meeting you all at the premiere, which was so much fun. It was like I was hugging, and like, even like you said, Jag wrapped his arms around me. I'm like, this is like, I feel like I'm an honorary part of the family.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such an inviting environment. And so
we had a very genuine, affectionate house. We really did.
Definitely.
I like
Did
that.
anybody else notice when Lisa was walking out the door that Tucker was in the background going?
I didn't notice that.
Oh.
Somebody just posted a thing on Twitter, and it shows all the house gets with the door open, and he's going like this in the background.
Oh, wow.
And what was that supposed to mean? He was happy she left?
Happy.
Oh, he was campaigning for her to go.
I think he is the reason that she is gone this week.
Yeah, 100%. He wants to be the last chef standing. Felicia, if there was another chef was there another chef on your season? Because you were the one cooking everything.
Yes.
Or didn't Blue cook sometimes?
Blue did cook a lot, and Blue cooked good. And I'm not a chef. I just cook the way I cook at home. I mean, we do a lot of cooking in our family, and we do a lot of events and stuff. And so I just love to cook. But Blue was a good cook. Now, Red wasn't a cook. Red was experimenting most of the time when he was cooking, but he did come up with some good dishes in a lot of his experiments.
Okay. What was your favorite thing?
We cooked some stuff that was good. Actually, one of my favorite dishes in the house was that pasta dish that Red made one night. He made a pasta dish with some hamburger and whatever, and he thought that thing was slamming. It was like a lasagna kind of dish. It was slamming. It really was.
What was your signature dish in the house?
Probably the meats. I'm a meat eater. So when I would do the fish or I would do the steaks, they loved the pasta dishes. I made some potato salad one time. The tuna fish, for some reason, they like the tuna fish macaroni salad that I did one time.
Oh, yes. Tuna macaroni. Oh, my God, that hits. Oh, my God, that hits. Yeah. And didn't you make like smothered pork chops?
We did. Actually, I don't think I did that. I think Sari did the smothered pork chops the time we had them.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you remember that,
Okay.
Frank? That's so
Because I love smothered pork chops.
pork chops.
Yes.
They ate
yes.
very well last season. I
Wait,
think better than this season.
Now,
I
Felicia,
posted that yesterday. There's a meme of you where it's, it says, I remember when the house gets lined up every night to eat at Miss Felicia's dinner.
Listen, that week that you like didn't cook for FBJ, Matt, and Jag, and they were having to eat like ramen. It's like they didn't know what to do.
They didn't know what to do. And I cooked one last meal the night before I was leaving because I knew I was leaving, and I cooked that pasta dish for them.
Yes. Also, really quickly, everybody subscribe to Mama Fee's YouTube where you cook, right? You do. Like,
I cook on YouTube. I cook on YouTube.
So yes, Mama / Fee. Make sure you subscribe, and I want some dishes. I want some recipes. Like I will be watching. So
okay.
My Johnny's Mama Fee. I'm gonna order that $16.
I'm ordering
some Johnny's, and some seasoning pepper. Seasoning pepper comes in that little small bottle. I'm finding harder and harder to find that too. And I'm like, please don't stop making the seasoning pepper.
You did ask for that a lot.
I did.
Now you've been at the house for a year. I'm sure you've had time to watch everything back. What's something that you would have changed about your gameplay?
I think going in on day one and making the alliance with Sari was a mistake.
Oh.
And it was, because again, this is why I have to agree with Leah in that everybody gets in there and they want to align so fast, and you end up separating yourselves and the house splits. And then 3 weeks in, you realize that some of the people that you're aligned with, they fool. And it's like, oh my God, I think this might have been a mistake. If I had to do anything different, I probably would have tried to stay in the middle a little bit. I would probably stay in the middle a little bit more and not really pick a side, so to speak, and really watch and get to know people a little bit better before I try to get in true alliances. And then I needed to shut up a little bit more.
We didn't want you to shut up.
No, never.
You were last season. I'm sorry. You were the highlight of BB25.
100,000%.
I think you solidified your way into BB All Stars. If there's another one, 110%.
Yes, we will be seeing you again. There's. No
I'm
question.
so sure. Yes.
We shall see.
Listen, people are still talking about you.
Felicia, for me, if there's an all boys alliance and all stars, take them out, okay?
Okay. And now, when we first got in the house, I tried to get them to do an all girls alliance. And again, America got stuck with Corey. Bowie Jane she acted like she didn't like females. And so we could never make it work. And she did. I kept saying, I think Bowie Jane just dislikes females, period. And so I'm like, if we could have got the girl, because at one time we had 7 women and 5 guys. And we couldn't get these guys. It's like, you guys, we can roll them right out the door and have 7 females sitting up in this house.
Let's do this one season. It could happen this season, maybe.
Yes. That's funny. That's funny because Mama Fee Josh was all about an all men's alliance this year.
Sure was.
This season, I'm sorry, the cast was released and I was all about the guys. And when the cast was released.
Yeah. They actually have talked about it once this season, though. So we'll see if they actually make it happen. They got to get rid of Anne. But see, they actually no, because they've gotten rid of they just got rid of Lisa, and they're getting rid of their females, and they can't do that.
You know, at first I wasn't a fan of Brooklyn because she was endorsed by Arian Grease, so I couldn't support. But now I'm like, I like Brooklyn, so it's good. But you know, preseason we weren't here for it because she was endorsed by the most evil person who's ever played Big Brother in 25 seasons.
Yeah,
so
I gotta put this up. Yeah, y'all had 5 women and 2 males at top 7.
And look what we did. We let the 2 men make it to the final 2 seasons. Stupid. And me and Sari even said, Bowie Jane, forget about Red been gone for weeks. Forget about it. We can do this. I went to America, and I don't know if they showed. I'm trying to remember if they showed it. I went to America. Now this is probably it was a downfall. Actually, it worked out. But I went to America and told America that she needed to convince Cam to take who did I want her to take somebody off the block and put Corey up. And after I did it, I could tell by the look on America's face when I said it to her. I said, listen, I said, you are the only person that could go to Cam and tell him to put Corey up on the block. I said, nobody else can do it, and he would make that shift. She was appalled that I said it. So that's why when I gave my speech, I said, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I did. I went to America, and I said this. And that's when they showed me and America and Corey have that blowout, and the whole house was
watching. Yes. Because
of what I did that day.
Yes. Oh my God. But that was legendary though. Like how you called them out, like legendary.
And they still sitting there lying, but everybody believed them. No matter what I did or what I say, 9 times out of 10, I was telling the truth, and they never believed me. And I kept saying, I'm not lying. I am not lying. I don't have no reason to lie to you.
You really didn't lie that much. Honestly, I can't.
No. I told people secrets, but I didn't really tell a lie. It's like when they were saying, no, Felicia said, no, I didn't. You know, like Corey came to me and asked about the Final Four, but he swore I came to him. No, I didn't. You came to me. Now, even when they said that I had gone to Jared and asked Jared for a Final Two, I said, no, I never asked Jared to be in the Final Two. I told Jared, and that was after we had gone upstairs, and Sari had kind of thrown me under the bus with our 8. And I didn't like the way she had done it. Tell them, Felicia, you know what they said. And I'm looking at her like, I know you didn't just do that. So I went downstairs and I said, oh my God. I said, I don't like what Sari just did. I wasn't thinking when I did this. It's like, I'd almost rather be in a Final Two with you than with Sari. That was the statement I made. I never said, Jared, I want to be in a Final Two with you. And we never talked about it again after I made that statement to him. But he went and told everybody that I asked him to be in a Final Two. No, I didn't.
Right. And speaking, I would be a fool if I didn't mention this, and it's probably people are gonna probably roll their eyes. I want to talk about Jared. You would have thought Jared was paying me how much I had his back last year.
You did.
I had his back so hard last year. It was me against BB Twitter. That's why they hate me. So I'm like, I'm sorry if the views are low because of that, but I'm so curious. How did you talk to him about it? How was, like, when you got the house, how did you feel about like all the backlash?
I actually feel bad for Jared because, like I said, Jared really was a very nice, respectful young man. He really was. He got caught up in the game. He went, I think, he did too much with Blue. And I love them in that relationship that they were in, but when you got out the house, realized it wasn't really a relationship because he still had something going on the outside that he kind of pretended like was over, and actually I've heard it really wasn't over. I love Jared. I love Blue. I thought they made a good team, but I still think he did too much. Like, for instance, I look at you trying to act like you drinking tea. I think he did too much in, like, when he was HOH and then allowed Blue to come up in the room, and it was almost like it was her room as much as it was his. See, all of that, people kept watching that. But now I'll say I was offended though by the way everybody put so much emphasis on Jared and Blue because I remember even telling Bowie Jane one day, because she came in talking about, I don't know why Jared just spends so much time with Blue. And I said, why do you damn care? No. Why do you care? I said, you ain't said nothing about Corey in America. You didn't say nothing about Matt and Riley. So why are you so obsessed with Jared and Blue?
Uh-huh.
Well, she is from Australia. So.
Oh, right.
He was just trying to figure out how.
She never made another comment about him again. It's like, I need everybody to get off them. If he wants to like her, why y'all damn care? You ain't telling nobody else they should stop talking.
He was just trying to figure out who had been using all the condoms.
Right. I really want you to say
why was she cast? Biggest wonder.
Why was she what?
Why was Bowie Jane even there? Why?
I don't know.
Child.
I really
was there to give. Hey, but if she wasn't there, then we would not have gotten.
We wouldn't have
gotten that.
We would have got something. We would have got something better.
And actually, I'll be honest, I really did like Bowie Jane because she was a nice person. Everybody in there had their own goodness about him. There was good in everybody. But Bowie Jane, just after a while, you started seeing once Red left, you saw Bowie Jane shift. And I think that's probably when you saw the real Bowie Jane come out.
Yeah.
So she played a role, and we knew she was playing a role, but her role became less and less. And you saw it the closer you got to the end, when she actually got her confidence and realized that she really was in the know with Matt and Jag, then she became mean-spirited.
Yes.
They were very hypocritical.
Yeah.
The way they treated you and Suri, very hypocritical.
Very.
I can go
because
on
me
and
and
on about that.
Suri really trusted Matt and Jag with that final four, and we quickly found out that they had perpetrated that. And I told Suri all along, I said, I believe Bowie Jane is in there now, and they ain't letting go of that. One, because they know she's going to do what they want her to do. That was why they kept Bowie Jane. That's how Bowie Jane stayed in the house, because everybody knew she was not going to go against the house at all.
Yeah,
they can control her.
They can control her.
That's who needs to go. When you play again, Felicia, those players need to go. The ones that aren't going to make moves, because you want to keep people that are going to make the moves when it comes
big
time.
moves.
Yeah.
Make big moves.
The safety
Because I remember even saying to Bowie Jane when it was the four of us, I said, Bowie Jane, I said, so what's your game strategy? She's like, And I said, so are you playing this game to win, or are you just okay getting to the final three? I said, because if you get rid of me and Suri, I think Suri was still there. Then I said, if you get rid of me and Suri, you realize the closest you're going to get to the end is to the final three. They're not going to bring you to the end.
I don't think she even cared. She just wanted.
I was about to say the same thing, Steven. Yes.
The mafia with Matt and I.
Yes. That's
exactly.
Like she had done something because she had made it to the end with the two of them, and that was all that mattered. The fact that she made it to the jury was all that mattered to her. And when she got to the end with the three of them, she thought she had arrived. That was enough for her. She was never playing to win.
She was cast as a recruit, but she was cast for the wrong Big Brother. She needed to be on Big Brother Australia, okay? Or like,
yeah.
It's like, come on now.
Yeah.
And thank you, BZ Leonard, again. We appreciate it.
Yes.
I'm enjoying this so much I can't even comment.
Really quickly, Mama Fee, we went over our MVP picks and stuff like that. Frank, you want to pull those up?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's go over our picks for the week.
I had to get one for Mama Fee.
All right. Let's
So
start
this
with
is who's got to go.
one. Let's start with the first.
MVP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Mama Fee, who'd you pick?
I picked, and people are going to look at this and say, oh my God, you know why I picked Angela? Because Angela, with all her crazy, was able to still convince people that she should stay in the house. And so I got to pick her as MVP because she should have went out this week.
Yeah,
definitely.
She should.
That's definitely true. Like whatever she did, like kudos to her. And we get more weeks of chaos from her. Like it is what it is.
Time to eat.
All right, and then the next one is the floater.
Yeah, I think Joseph is floating good.
He is.
I agree with you. He's playing.
I think the rest of us picked Rabina, but yeah, neither of them have gotten very much screen time at all.
No.
But Joseph is there, and Joseph is in a good spot. I think Joseph's another one. I forgot he was in the game in a good way. And I think that is definitely someone that could float on very far into the game and then take over in the second half of the game.
Exactly. So him more so than Ravina, because he actually is talking strategy with some people more than Ravina is.
Felicia, you know who he's giving me is Dan Giesling.
Oh,
yeah.
No, kinda.
Because that's how Dan started off his first season, was under the radar. People were kind of targeting his friends, but he was there. People weren't like against him until it kind of progressed, and then he took over
then it was too late. Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed. That's why I think we're in for a great season. When it's time for them.
In for a great season. You get about 5 weeks in, and you're gonna see this thing get crazy.
And we don't have a majority alliance yet, which is what I love.
Right.
It's on the voting blocks. I agree. Okay, what's next?
Predicted winner.
Oh.
3 of us stay Brooklyn, 2 of us stay Cedric.
I would love it.
I definitely agree.
I'm saying Cedric because with him having a military intelligence background, and he is kind, he is likable, he is in a lot of different. He's talking to everyone. He is not on anybody's radar. But the same can be said for Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My main
Both
fear
of them
for
are
Brooklyn,
playing
though.
a similar game.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. I do think they're gonna see Brooklyn is stiff competition pretty soon. And try to find a way to like either backdoor her or even though you can't really backdoor with this beautiful twist.
You know what? Frank, I disagree with you though. I think Brooklyn's playing a good game. I don't think people are threatened by her at all. I think she's playing good. I think she's kind of like Joseph, but even in a better spot right now. I think Brooklyn is in the best spot in the house right now. So
I
but
agree.
the same can be said with Cedric. How many other men in other seasons that are young and athletic, they are looked at as threats always.
Yeah, he was like a pooch, I thought.
And so far, nobody's looking at him or Brooklyn. You know.
Yeah. And he had zero power week 1. Zero power.
Yeah.
But this is week 2. So like if 3 of us are saying Brooklyn is potential winner, eventually people are gonna catch on to her gameplay in a few weeks. I agree, Josh. She's playing a great game, but I'm like
Matt has said her name though. In recent interviews, he's been saying, Brooklyn's somebody I was looking at because she was everywhere. She's under, but I don't know if that's also you're out and you've now, come to this realization either.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. And then we have they gotta go.
Kenny and Angela.
They gotta go.
I think Kenny's going to be an easy boot, but do you really want to boot the easy boot? I want to boot someone good. I want to boot like a big player. Let's take out a big player this week. I would love it.
Well, see, and I actually, in the beginning, when I just saw the cast, I actually thought, I looked at Kenny and thought, I think he'll go far. But so his personality, his character has really surprised me in how he's gotten in there and played. I don't know if it with him having been a cop. I used to be a cop for 5 years when I was in the Air Force, and he seems really standoffish to have been a cop. So he doesn't know how to engage with these young people.
Yep.
Mama Fee, I have a question about that. Sorry, I just took a hit of my vape because I was curious about that. With Kenny, like, what do you think? What you just said is the epitome of what I said with Mackenzie on the live yesterday. I would have thought Kenny would go in there and just like he seems like he has a great personality, but what is missing? Like, why is he not clicking with this cast?
I don't know. It's like he doesn't know how to relate to these. I think that's what, I don't know if he has kids, Angela, because he seems like he has a good personality, but he doesn't seem to want to connect. Even when they show him in the room a lot, he's never really doing a lot of talking. And so, again, if you don't engage, people can't connect to you. And I think the one thing I had going for me when I was in the house is that I looked at all of these guys. My son is 25. Well, half the house was 25. So I know how to talk to that age group because all Jair's friends come in the house, hey, mom, and we talking. And I actually just talk to them like they're adults, grown-up people, and we have conversations. So I relate to them well. And that's what I have not seen with Kenny. It's like you got to figure out how to relate to these young people.
I think Kenny has really young kids, whereas Angela's kids are like late teenagers.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Just losing it though. Like she's not relating to people. Angela's losing her mind in that house.
Yeah, Angela's playing too erratic. She's playing she's just erratic.
She's gonna have to win HOH. I mean,
and like I was saying last night with Kenny, I feel like he's one of those men, and Miss Felicia, you know what I'm talking about. There are these men who need a woman, or they need right up under them all the time. And because he misses his wife so much, I feel like he's that type of person, and he just he misses that connection, that whatever, so much. That
probably because again, too, being a cop. So when he came home, the wife took care of the house. She did everything, blah blah blah. Yeah. And now he's in there fending for himself, and he don't know what to do with that.
I mean, he came out of his bed last night because the have-nots were finally getting to eat, and he told them to quiet down.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, okay. I was like, that's not the okay.
Well, now I did that. I can't say nothing because one morning, I was so mad at Corey in America.
Because I remember that.
Yes, and I got up the next morning, I was slamming pots, and I got Matt slamming pots with me because I'm like, I'm sick of them staying up making all this noise at 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, well, if they can make noise at 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, I can make damn noise at 7 o'clock in the morning. Bam!
Right. Yes, definitely.
If I was playing that game for you, are the number one person I would want to see in the house. No question.
Yes.
I'd be like, yes.
So, Mama Fee, before we wrap, I do have one final question.
Okay.
If you could, and I think a bunch of our viewers had the same question. If you could work with anybody in the house right now, who would you align with?
Ooh, that's a good question. I've got about 3. Oh, that's a good
You
question.
give us 3. You give us 3.
Yeah, give us all of them if you want.
I like Chelsea. I like Brooklyn. I like Quinn. I like Takora. I like Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good one. That's a
Solid
good
choices.
one.
Yeah, I like those.
Mhm.
Well, all right. So, Mama Fee, this was a dream.
Agreed.
We really appreciate you coming. You can even watch our episodes from BB25. We loved you.
Oh,
everyone-
I'm gonna go back
yes.
and pull it up.
Yes,
Let's watch
you
the
were
cast release video
BB25.
for season 25. It's a moment. Okay.
Yes. So I'm gonna do your shout out, but I'm gonna split it up. So, and I'm gonna start with you, then I'm gonna end with you. At first, where can we all follow you on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter and YouTube?
So on my Instagram, it's at Felicia.Cannon.9. On TikTok, it's at MamaFee27. And on Twitter, it's at Cannon, Feli 97812. You know, the one that
Sahan Karan.
Sahan
Karan.
stole my Twitter, and I had to get a new one. Yeah.
Right.
And then my YouTube is at Mama_Fee.
Definitely.
And you're blowing up on
everybody
TikTok
make sure
right
to
now.
subscribe.
Really?
Yes.
Yay, TikTok. Again, if you guys want to see me do cooking videos, I do most of my cooking videos. I upload them on YouTube. I try to do my TikTok where I come in live and I kind of talk. That's what I'm going to talk about the show. Start casting on is on TikTok more than anything. Twitter, I just put little statements out, and Instagram is when I want to actually, I put photos out and stuff like that when I'm out and about doing social stuff. And I like to give shout outs. And I have some people that have asked me why I do this, but if I'm out anywhere and somebody comes up to me and they say, hey, Mama Fee, or are you Mama Fee, or where do I know you from? And they ask for a picture, then I also get a picture with them because I want to just showcase the people that recognize me and give homage to me. I feel like I'm giving back. And that's why you'll see me put something out there that says shout out to, it's a random person that just came up to me. And so I feel like I want to give them that something.
I've seen you do that.
That's
I love
amazing.
that you do that.
I love
Yes.
that. Steven, quickly, where can we find you on Instagram and Twitter?
You can find me on Instagram at Reginald__George, and on Twitter at wasreallygood1.
Perfect. Mackenzie, where can we follow you?
On Instagram or Facebook at KenzieJoe205 or Twitter Kenzie_reality.
And Kenzie's new to Twitter, so go give her a follow.
Yes. Joshua, where can we find you?
Hello, everyone. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mendelsate. Follow my fitness journey. Yay. Posting updates. all the time.
Definitely. You guys can follow me on Instagram at I'm Frank Williams or Twitter I'm Frank W. Mama Fee, is there anything that we did not touch or anything that you want to just share with the world outside of your wonderful business and your real estate? You can shout out that as well, but you have any beautiful final words for us?
I would just like to say to people everywhere, live your best life. Do you live your life through your lens, not how somebody else thinks you should be or who you should be. You got to do you and be confident in you enough, trust and believe with that faith of a mustard seed that God made each one of us individuals for a reason. And love yourself and don't worry about the other people. They're either gonna resonate with you, and if they don't, keep them out there because they don't mean you no good. Do you. Be the best version of you every single day.
Mwah.
Just like what you
I
said.
love that.
For the people who
I
don't
needed
like
to
it,
hear
I
that
say
today.
fuck them.
Thank you.
There you go. Fucking Blowy Jane, get the hell on. I'm not going to change to make you happy. So you either got to decide you're going to take me for who I am or get gone.
Who's the Bowie Jane of the season?
Who's the Bowie Jane of this season? Ooh. I think. Who is the Bowie Jane of this season?
I was gonna say it was Lisa.
Rubina.
I would say Rubina, maybe Leah.
Oh.
Fucking Leah Jane.
I don't. There isn't a Bowie Jane this season. I don't peg
I don't think
anybody in there right now to be a Bowie Jane.
No, I don't either.
No.
And then your online store and real estate, can you let people know a little bit about that?
Mama-fee.com. I've got t-shirts. I have some stuff that actually has an M. My emblem is an M for Mama Fee. I have stuff that has faith of a mustard seed. I have t-shirts that say smooches, come on God. You can get water bottles, glass mugs, baseball caps. So just a lot of stuff out there that you can purchase that says that has
you don't sell your own seasoning on there.
I'm surprised you don't have your own.
I'd buy
it.
I done got a hold of Johnny's. If anybody out there that's listening to this works for Johnny's, I done called Johnny's and said they need to let me have a sponsorship because I sure be trying to sell their Johnny's seasoning salt. For real.
You heard it here first. We're gonna clip this and tag them in it.
Yes.
Okay. And if you're in the Atlanta metro area, Team Cannon at bhhsgeorgia.com. Me and my husband, we like working with first-time home buyers and veterans. That's what
if I move to Atlanta, I'm calling you. No question.
I'm serious. Anybody
down.
moving here, wanting to sell, coming here, give us a call. And if you're going someplace else, we can connect you with realtors all over the United States with BHHS. So we're here to help you. What you can't do alone, or we can do together.
All right now.
I love that. Yes, I love that. And I'm going to end with Crispy's comment. We adore you, Mama Fee. We are so grateful that you were able to take the time to talk to little old us. So we really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. It was a pleasure. Yes. I hope to do this again.
Yes.
Maybe about halfway through the season, we're gonna see where we landed. And then
okay.
That's what we're gonna do. Halfway through the season, we're gonna come back to that thing we did today and see where we were.
Yeah.
Perfect. You ain't saying nothing but a word.
Okay. And the next reality show you get on, you let us know so we can interview you and have you come on and talk about that. And anytime you want to talk about anything reality, you just let us know.
I will definitely let you guys know.
I know that was not your last show. I know it.
Hell no.
That was not your last
show. The world's not ready for Mama Fee to not be on TV.
Thank you, guys. I love you. Have a good night.
Love you
Thank
too.
You so much.
Love you, everyone. Thank you all for joining in.
Smooches.
Couch Potato Queens out.
Like, share, subscribe.